Okay, so I know that people like to talk in their sleep. That's not a weird thing. Like, I talk in my sleep sometimes. No big deal. But have you ever met someone that hums in their sleep? Because that's what my husband does. And I know he's not joking with me. Like, I know for sure he's asleep. But he'll just be laying there, and all of a sudden you'll hear, and I'm like, what even are you humming? Like, I don't even know. Like, I've hummed it for him, and he's like, I don't know what that is. So let's just all collectively agree that he's a weirdo. Okay, I am so excited to bring you today's video. So this is a collab video with the lovely Laura. I'm so excited. This is our first, no, because we did the how many pans of eyeshadow. So this is like our second or third collab, which it's exciting. I love her. She's very sweet. She's a good dear friend that I've met through this. So I'm gonna link her above and down below. And now I'm gonna tell you what we've actually decided to do. So can't find an official statement from Juvia's place, but if you go to their website and you look at their eyeshadow palettes, like, you might see like, oh, I want the Warrior, but the Warrior is sold out, but it's still pictured and it'll just say like sold out, notify me when available, like all that good stuff. The Deuce and the Tribe palettes aren't even pictured online anymore, like on their actual website. They're no longer at Ulta, and both of those were being sold at Ulta previously. And if you like type it into Google and then click the little shopping tab, the only sites that pop up for me are like Poshmark, eBay, like all those kind of like secondhand sites, like no actual stores selling it. So we're both convinced that those two palettes are being discontinued, which is really sad because the Deuce for her is like one of her favorites and it's so pretty. Like, yes, I can understand why. And the Tribe, I only have two Juvia's Place palettes. I have the Warrior and the Tribe, but the Tribe is so gorgeous. And so what we decided was that we would each dupe the one that we don't have. So I am going to dupe the Deuce palette and she is going to dupe the Tribe palette. And let me just tell you, I have gotten a sneak peek at her shades that she picked and she did a really good job. So go check her out, like I said, above and down below. But let's just get into what I have to show you. I think I did a really good job. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I used this palette to create this eye look today, and yes, it is very pink, which I don't know, like I look at it in the mirror, I look at it in the viewfinder, and half the time I'm like, oh yeah, girl, and then the other half I'm like, why are you wearing hot pink? Why? Overall though, I do like it. I think that it turned out pretty good. I tried to do like a halo eye, but then I still put like a darker shade in my outer V, so I don't know what you would call it, but I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. If you own the Deuce palette and you think that this is a look that you could achieve with it, let me know down below. That is too many syllables. Because I would like to know your thoughts on how I did. So I'm going to show you the palette. I'm going to pop up pictures over here. Laura did also very helpfully to like help me be able to complete this, because two of the shades that I had first selected were just so wrong, because you know, obviously I don't own this, so I'm going off like online pictures, but she swatched it out for me, and so I was able to like fix it, and I think I'm like spot on, like 98% right with this. So let's just get into it. Here is what I have come up with. So I also try to challenge myself to only dupe palettes with like depotted and single shades so that I can actually make them into like a little palette. But just off first glance, I think this looks spot on. So let's just get into it. This first dark brown shade is from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette volume 1. It is the shade Chip, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check on that. I'm pretty sure that's it. And yes, I was right. Don't ever doubt yourself. It's always that first choice. Okay, this next one is like a white shade with like a pink kind of duochrome aspect to it. This is called I'm In It from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette volume 2. Okay. This next one is from Blush Crush, if I'm not mistaken, from ColourPop. No, it's from Strawberry Shake, and it is called Woke. And it's just a great like light pink, not a peachy pink, but just like a light pink shade. So far so good, I think. Pretty spot on. Okay, this next one is Heavenly from ColourPop as well. And now Heavenly, or you know, what, I don't know the shade names in the actual Juvia's Place palette, but this shade gave me the hardest time trying to find it. But I really do think Heavenly is the closest thing, like the best match that I have within my collection. Now I did talk with Laura because she said she swatched out a shade called Greenhouse from Dandelions and Tron from the Kaleidos Electro Turquoise palette, and those were pretty good matches as well. So, but like when I compared those two against Heavenly, I think Heavenly is the best of the three. But if you have those other two, then that would be maybe a working option for you. Okay, this next like bright pink one, which is what is dominating my lid look today, is called Tipsy Girl, and it is from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette volume 2. I really like this hot like pink color. It almost has like a blue undertone to it, but I do think it's still, we're doing really well with this palette. Okay, the next shade that I put in here is called Spoiled Brat, and it is from the Dandelions little Etsy shop. So here it is, and based on her swatches, this shade just looked like a light kind of purple taupey color. So I can't really see it in the viewfinder. I'm gonna build it up with a second swipe just so that I make sure you guys can see it. I think you can. It's very cloudy here today, so hopefully you can get a good gist of it. Okay, final row. So this one is from ColourPop as well. It's from the Nude Mood, no, it's from the California Love palette. It's called Gnarly. This shade also gave me a run for my money trying to get it because it's like, it's not like a cream shade, but it's not like as dark as like a transition shade from like the actual Juvia's Place palette. So I think this is the closest that I have, where it's like that light camel kind of brown color. This next one is what I have on the center of my lids. This is Glass Bull from ColourPop. So here it is going right underneath that one. I think so far still so good. All right, and then the last shade to finish this off, this was one that I had to switch out to. I originally had a much darker like red shade in here, but then after Laura so kindly sent me the swatches, I realized that this shade in the picture looks a lot darker than it actually does swatch. So the shade I picked for it is Pooter from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette volume 1. So here we go. Here is my dupe of the Juvia's Place palette. Hopefully right here you're seeing Laura's swatches of like the actual palette, so then you could compare how I did. I think I did really well. So you might not have wanted this, you might not have been into this, but I actually think that duping videos, if you watch them even of palettes that you don't want, it's helpful because it shows you that you probably, even if it's a different palette that you want, you probably already have it in your collection. Like this, I'm not even kidding. So I made the two mistakes, had the two swap out shades that I did, but even still, this took literally like 10-15 minutes to do. So that really just shows you like there's nothing new necessarily. Like it's just the same stuff packaged differently. And I'm not trying to like discourage you or shame you. Like if you want to go out and buy that new palette, you go out and buy it, because it does take a little bit of effort to like put it together and everything like that. But I just think it's so amazing. I thought duping palettes would be much harder, I guess is my point I'm trying to make, and it's not. So, but yeah, one final look. I'm really excited to have the Deuce palette technically. So that is it. Again, please go check out Laura because she is so sweet and thoughtful, and I enjoy her, and I know you guys will enjoy her content as well. She has a variety of like project panning, like 3 looks 1 palettes, and her 3 looks 1 palette, she is so creative with eyeshadow, you guys. Like go follow her for inspiration. But I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.